to Brother VARKEY, CHACKO and family for arranging special lunch for the whole church. As you know, Brother VARKEY, CHACKO completed successfully master's degree in theological studies. They wanted to share their joy with the congregation. Some of you may not know they were one of the pioneers in establishing this big congregation. We commend their vision in the city of beautiful Orlando. God be with you. Give them a good hand, and I'm going to encourage them music, and then Brother VARKEY, CHACKO will come and give you a few words about it, and then Brother Kunyangal is going to pray for the food. Thanks. Have a blessed week. Thank you.
I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus the Nazarene, and wondered how he could love me, a sinner condemned, unclean. How marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. Oh, how marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. He took my sin and my sorrows. He made them his very own, and he bore the burden to Calvary, and suffered and died alone. Oh, how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. Oh, how marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. And with the ransom in glory, His face I at last shall see. It will be my joy through the ages to sing of His love for me. Oh, how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. Oh, how marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. Oh, how marvelous, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. Oh, how marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me.
Thank the Lord for this beautiful day, beautiful service God has given to us. Come to His presence and enjoy the glorious moments our God allows us to have. And it's a very grateful heart that I stand before you for many reasons. First of all, I want to wish all of you fathers a happy Father's Day. And 2019 is a very special year for me, for many reasons. I will just mention a couple of them. One is, it is in this year, 50 years before this year, about a half a century ago, I set my foot in the city of New York. I came on a student visa. And I came in the airlines, so some of you may remember, it's called TWA, Trans World Airlines. They're out of business today. But I want to tell you, God is not out of business, so I'm not out of business yet. God has sustained me all these years, the last half a century. And I came on a student visa. And at that time, when I came, the Indian government would only allow you to have $8 as foreign exchange. And I got that. The one stopover was in Frankfurt. Lo and behold, I decided to have a cup of coffee. I wanted to enjoy a cup of coffee in a foreign country. So by the time I landed in New York, I had only $6 and change in my pocket. But again, God sustained me. Almost 46 years after I came on a student visa, God allowed me to have another opportunity to continue my studies. And this time, it was on a theological study. Many things happened during that 46 years. I did not get into the details. But the last 4 years has been a tremendous challenge. And God has been with me. The degree that I earned is called Master in Theological Studies from one of the most reputed seminaries in the United States. And my graduation was on May 18th in New Orleans. And my wife and all my children came to New Orleans. Princey came with her husband and child. We had a really wonderful time enjoying in the presence of God and enjoying that fellowship and that graduation ceremony. The reason I'm standing here before and taking a few minutes, even though my stomach is only grumbling and I'm sure it's yours too, I will not take too much of your time, I hope. And if I do, if you think I took too much time, please forgive me. I have a few words of expression of thanks. That's all I want to do. To thank my God who allowed me to continue the studies for the 4 years. It was not an easy task. It was at the time frame that I'm in. Anyway, God allowed me to complete that. This church, our pastor and family, and many brothers and sisters has been an encouragement for me in this endeavor. And I want to name a few names. If I forget someone's name in this process, please forgive me, it is not intentional. Some brothers who was part and parcel to this process. And they gave me letters of recommendations to start my studies with the seminary, and also they have helped me with some of the paperwork that I had to do. Brother Sam Philip was one of them. Brother Thomas CHACKO, I don't think he's here today. But Stephen Daniel helped me with some of the things. Dr. Elizabeth Thurman was one of them. Mathew Thurman was my mentor for one of the semesters, whole semester. We sat together on Sundays especially and went through the whole process, and he was instrumental in me getting a good grade for that. He was directed me and helped me and advised me in many things, and we enjoyed a good time of fellowship during that time. Brother David Paulson allowed me to attend his Sunday school classes, and a couple of sessions I took for that group. It was a wonderful time I had with them too. Many people have associated with me and worked together, and that is the reason I'm standing today. not the last but not the least, but our Pastor Sam Jayna is here. Thank you, Pastor, for being with us, and Mathew and Rufina. Your friendship and fellowship has been such a joyous occasions in my life, and many times. And today, thank you for being there. And also, Pastor Sam will be one of the semesters. He was also helped me in that process. I want to give another word of thanks to a couple of people involved in this, but the thanks go to the Almighty God. I was wondering whether I should do this or not because of time constraints, but it is important that we know how God works through miraculous and mysterious ways in our life. And I hope that some of you will take maybe a message out of that. The seminary insisted that I need to send my undergraduate transcript from the University of Kerala. This, as you can see, that I came here 50 years ago, so I went to the University of Kerala way before that. And they didn't have any of the records available. I did all the paperwork, and they would not comply. And the seminary gave me a year in order to comply. So I worked very hard. Our brother Mohan went to India, and I gave him all the copies of the paperwork. And they sent him empty-handed. And brother Roy and Ramani also was there in Kerala, and they took trains going from one place to the other. And there was with them a passenger. His name is Arvind Krishnan, a Hindu brother, came along. And the conversation somehow, God allowed this conversation to take place. Ramani and Roy mentioned to this gentleman about my predicament. And it so happened, see how God works? That person worked for the University of Kerala. What is the chance of those two things happening together? And I communicated with him before my deadline. I was able to get the University of Kerala sending the transcript to them. I could continue my further studies and graduate from at seminary. It's wonderful. When God does things, it is amazing how these things can work. Many of my family members and my dear friends from my wife's workplaces and also our family friends are here. I want to thank you, all of you, being here in this happy occasion. My heart is filled with joy and gratefulness to the Lord, for God does wonderful things that no human can ever accomplish. God is such a marvelous God, and He is so gracious and loving. One person I cannot leave out in thanking for this is none other than my wife. I don't know if she's made it back here. Anyway, she stood with me in the last 4 years because I could call myself as an absent-minded professor for the last 4 years. I totally ignored everything in the house. I have not done anything. So she carried the weight, and she often reminds me about that. I said, there is a reason behind all these things. Anyway, not only she stood with me the last 4 years, the last 47 years, she stood with me, and we had a wonderful time in the last 47 years together. Thank you. One question that I repeatedly get in the last, especially last few months, is what am I going to do with this? The short answer, the long answer, the only answer I have no idea. Whatever the Lord leads me, I want to take that path. And I am sure the Lord that has led me all these years, just like the Bible speaks of the many great servants of God said, the Lord that led me all these years, I am sure will lead me in the right way. And I am committing myself 100% into His hands. And God knows what He does, and He will do the rest, the best. As a father and a grandfather standing before you, I have a word of encouragement for our young people especially, also maybe the church in general. This is maybe something that the pastor has touched upon too. Many times when we raise up our children, we want them to follow 4 or 5 of our young people are graduated from high school. We want them to become doctors, engineers, pharmacists, secular professions that will bring the highest amount of salary to their family. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the ambition we all have. I did the same thing. I would not call it a mistake, but there is another path that is available. In the last 4 years, many years before that I did, but especially in the last 4 years, I had the opportunity to read, study, and spend hours and hours of literature, theological materials, great servants of God, masterpieces of theological studies, written by Millard Erickson, Peter O'Brien, Jalal Van Gorigan. People like that have written marvelous books, and I had the opportunity to read them, study them, and see how God can use these mighty men more than these dollars can satisfy. Their lives have been enriched, have been gloriously blessed. Not only them, many hundreds of thousands of them. And we are a testimony of those, that blessing that we received because of this one book. Here before me seated are great people like Moses, Daniel, Joseph, Peter, and Paul. And you have the opportunity to pursue something like this. And you can be the theologians, the writers, and the professors of the future. And it is not just a secular field that we can follow. I hope and pray in the days to come, our pulpits, our messages, and our exhortations will gear to promote our young people to follow this book and be the future theologians and writers and professors, to follow what Christ has put in our hands, such a marvelous, splendid, and glorious path to follow. There is nothing comparable to that. There is a gentleman by name Jerry Rice. Some of the football fans probably would know him. I'm not a football fan myself, but I came across this small script that he wrote. He is the wide receiver of the San Francisco 49ers. He said one day, "Today, I will do things that others won't. So tomorrow, I can accomplish what others can't." Parents, fathers, again, this is Father's Day. As a parent, as a father and a grandparent, I would urge our parents, our fathers, encourage your young people. Maybe write this down, I'll repeat that one more time. Today, I will do things that others won't. So tomorrow, I will accomplish things that others can't. That may be something we can take with us this morning. Your life will be enriched, and may the Lord Almighty bless you with that. And before I conclude, I want to invite all of you to a lunch that is arranged in the fellowship hall. Thank you for coming. Thank you for patiently waiting. I know you are all hungry, and so am I. But we will have a fellowship together. It's not the quality of the food that matters. It is the fellowship that God will give us that matters. So I will invite all of you, brothers, sisters, friends, families, every one of you took the time to be here and patiently listening to me. Please come, join with us, and celebrate with us. God is wonderful, and His mercy endureth for all. God bless you. Thank you so much for this time that we have.
We will pray, and on behalf of the church, we wanted to thank the VARKEY family for the lunch, and also we wanted to congratulate you